All right, so this is going to be the week recap from last week, Sunday night to, I believe it was the 13th. Yes, no, sorry, the 14th of August. Um, didn't take any trades, but I'm gonna go through. No, I did take one trade on copper, but it was pretty much a break even, and I decided to get out. Um, But whatever. So we'll get into that. But I want to recap what it is that we actually saw, and if there were any opportunities for us to actually trade. All right. That's the main thing of this. So looking at gold. Gold we started over here, and we kind of went up, consolidated. We did not really do anything. If we look at it, this is our high, this is our low, and we kind of just stayed in this range, right, for pretty much the entire week. More of a consolidation week in my opinion, and also very evident on the daily. Right, so low. Let me just move this over one. You can see low and the high, very much a consolidation week. Nothing really going on there. Um, but I do kind of still want to see if there was anything that we could have taken, right, from a trading perspective. Um, and in all honesty, for me, I think there's some smaller trades we could have taken in here. Not the type that I really like to take, but is the reality of the situation at the end of the day that these are the trades that are available and therefore should be looking to trade them. So, first things first, let me just put back on where it is that we started, which is here. All right. So, sleep, 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 and then 7 a.m. This is where I kind of look for our first kind of trade. So, what do we see? I see that we come into, whoops, damn it. Into a little bit of equal lows in this area. So, and there's equal lows, then we get kind of a big expanse up. What I was looking for initially was for price to come back into, so our indication. I was looking for the correction, hopefully into this, which didn't come, and then look to trade it out. And for this particular one, we would be looking 2 standard deviations, maybe even the 4 standard, which you can see is actually what we ended up coming up to. But there was no entry. The only other entry I could have taken was getting in off the indication, understanding that my stop has to be here. And first target was obviously the highs that we would have just broken. Um, but I like to be able to take at least a 2-to-1 trade. Let me just see if what the targets are, if there were any targets that could have been met. Yeah, so only target really I'd be looking at would be this one, which doesn't really give us very much room to work with, for being honest, right? Which would be right here, and we're looking at 1.2. So that's not really anything I would personally look at. The next thing is, so wait, hold on, let me just delete this real quick. So that's the first trade of the day, of the week, sorry. And that's on Monday morning, bright and early. Um, Honestly, the next trade, I'm not too sure about. Um, So coming into Tuesday, there's nothing. Coming into Wednesday, in my opinion, there isn't really anything there. Um, Someone may say this is one where we have um high low, sorry, high high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is what we need to break. It did break, so we have the um indication, correction. Now we're looking for the continuation. Actually, it's more like this. That could be something. However, you look at the time, 3:30 a.m., I'm asleep. So that's really nothing for me. Target would have to be this high. There's nowhere else really that we could look to go higher. Also, we did have CPIs here. So this candle here is CPIs. So it was kind of I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to trade or not because of how the climate was in the moment. Just comes up, comes up, comes up. So now this is where we start to get interesting. And I did not take this. This is on the hour chart. This is very evident. Very evident on the hour chart like this, right? So we basically have an area of resistance where sellers are pushing the market down. This is honestly probably the best trade of the week, where on the 15-minute, you can see we have this push up, massive push up. We have this area here of resistance. Hold on a second. Area of resistance here, right? And this actually goes all the way across. Actually, this was very present on the hour. Let me just draw it on the hour chart. Made life easy. Like so. Like so, right? Boom. Yeah. A little cleaner there. So you can clearly see, all right? Like this was the trade of the week on gold, in my opinion. We have those equal high, equal lows, resistance. We break the resistance, come back up. We break it again. Now we have our indication. We're looking for our correction. Correction comes in here at 9 a.m. The only way for us to be able to enter this correction um would be like this, which is off of the indication or off of the correction. So this, like so. Target would be 2 standard deviations of this move. That's how I would play it, and I don't think we did not touch it. Oh gosh, nose is doing some foolishness. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So obviously we didn't touch that, but that's really where the how I would have done it. But the second one you can look at is this one here, which is this high to this low. Down, say it's moving slow, and you can see we come down here, tap it 2.1R. That would have been the best option for the week, like so. Second area that we could look to trade are these equal lows down here, or this area of what do you call that? Support. Since we know that we have buyers at this level, price more than likely would not want to go below that level. So let's do it to this low here. And you can see price pretty much smack dabs tapped it. So this was a valid one on Thursday. I forget what I was doing on Thursday, but I missed this one completely. I was not on the chart this specific day. So really and truly, there's only the one trade for the week that I would have taken for gold, and that was it. And that was a very this was the cleanest option for gold, 100% this week. Moving into Friday, which is here, right? That doesn't really give us very much at all. Because we're so bearish, I'd be looking here. Price came in, obliterated it. So now we have our indication. Now we have our bullish indication. Kind of how I'd be expecting this to go into next week is, but well, let's go on the hour because it'll be a lot cleaner on the hour, which it is. We have our bullish indication. Now we're looking for our correction and ultimately to go higher all the way to these highs at 41, 40, 49, 40, well, 44.50. That's how I'm looking at price right now. In my estimation. The other thing that I'm kind of looking at is based off of, was it 4 hour or 1 hour? Yes, 4 hour, which is actually bearish. So I'm in limbo. I'm kind of waiting to see what it does. But you can see here, this is our indication. This is our correction. So if it is a price closes below here, I'm looking short. I'm 100% looking short, and I'm looking short into these levels, see what price does. Honestly. So it's a waiting game to see what happens. I'm not trading on open. I don't trade on open. You'll catch me tomorrow in New York, see what price kind of does, develops overnight. Especially with this Iran war and the foolishness that's going on every Sunday night. Seems to be quite interesting. So we'll see what tomorrow brings us for gold. Just a recap on gold, only really the one trade. The next one is copper. Copper. So let's start 4 hour on copper. Great. Actually, let's start daily on copper. So copper, we're bullish. Came in here, we're looking to go bullish again. Looking to go bullish from here right now, based off the daily. On the 4 hour, you can see we're here. We push all the way up, kind of consolidated, push lower. Well, looking at this now and looking at this during the week, I'm seeing two completely different things. And I'm a little sad I didn't take what I'm kind of seeing right now. I don't know if there's anything on the lower time frame that solidifies that, but we'll get into it. So price comes down, 9 a.m. We shoot all the way up on Monday. So let's look at it. Yes, I do actually remember this. And I didn't get in this because there was nothing really to get in off of. It was literally just push down, push up, get in where you fit in if you can. And I didn't really get it. Probably here would be the best place and stop below here. But for me, this type of trade, there's absolutely nothing there. Um, unless you're just getting in on good vibes that this is going to hold, and that's the end of that. And honestly, this is going to hold probably wasn't the best option. Something a little bit more like this, probably on an hour chart, would have been a better option altogether. Let me just see what that looks like. I don't have a clue. No, no, nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that. So Monday's dead. Push on forward, push on forward, push on forward. Oh, I got in. I don't remember what day I got in, but we'll see. I think I got in on Tuesday actually. So all this moves. Ah, yes, I actually do see something here on Wednesday that was palatable. Very palatable, actually. Oh man. Where did I honestly don't remember where I got in, but I got in for something real short. So if we look here, right? If these equal lows. Oh man. I'm actually a little annoyed that I didn't take this. Because this is prime time, if I'm being honest. Prime time. So we have these equal lows come in, indication. All right. Indication, correction, first correction here. This could have been your first entry or entry period, stop below the low. As you can see, price came back down on Wednesday, 5 a.m., second entry, and then 6:45, 7 a.m. That's your third entry. Last possible entry is 7:30 a.m. But this is extremely valid. Extremely valid. So let's just say I got in here. All right. Let's say I put on a stop order, a limit order, and this is what I did. All right. Stop below low, something like this. Where am I looking to target? Me, I like to do the standard deviations. 2 to 4 standard deviations. State's moving slow. Well, you can see the 2 standard deviations very easily lines up with this. That's easily the first target, and you're in and out a couple hours, 2 hour, but 4 standard deviations if you're looking to hold long term, which I think we can all understand and say copper was looking to do. In this particular case, looking back from a 1 hour perspective, I think I would have gone to the 4 standard deviations. Why? Let me go to a 30-minute. It might be a little bit clearer there. Yeah. This is very clearly a push down to take liquidity before we move on up. So if I'm looking at this, how I think I want to look at this, I do the two standard deviations from here up to this point. Where is this point? Here. And I'm targeting the two standard deviations, which is pretty much where the four is at. So I'd look to target the four on that particular instance. So we've really got two trade ideas for the week that were profitable, one for copper so far and one for gold so far. Boom. So that's really nice actually. And I'm a little, what day is this again? Wednesday, 3:45. So what time did this develop? 8:30 p.m. So I think I need to be on charts a little bit more at night and kind of just draw out what it is I'm looking at. Because Asian session seems to be doing bits. I think I was asleep, honestly, by 10:45, 10:30, 10:45. So I'll probably need to look at these a little bit later in the night to see how they develop. All right. So boom, that's one. Sorry, that's one trade for copper. Thursday now, nothing you can do there. We do have a indication correction. Really and truly, you can't do anything with this trade um until you can't do anything on this trade until this kind of gets broken, right? Um, and on the hour chart, you can see high, low, high. You can't trade until this gets broken, low. This was an entry potentially. I was looking at this, wasn't able to get in, just wasn't very clean. It was less than a 1-to-1 if I were to get in this on the hour chart. So it would have been some like these, this was something like that. I didn't like it. What I do like is this trade over here. This is very, very easy trade that I missed. So I guess it isn't that easy. But you have this area of resistance or area of sellers here. You can see how far that stretches over. All right. Very, very nice area of resistance here. And on the 15-minute, it is a lot clearer than you may think. Actually, on the 30-minute, let me do 30 minutes, a lot clearer. So you have here, fortunately, something that we can't really trade too well, but you can see we have this last push up. Price comes down. This is where we'd be able to hop in on a 15-minute. There isn't really too much going on in terms of being able to get in. The only thing you can kind of see is in here, this price gonna come back up at 10:45, but you can clearly see we sold off from there. There is really another good area that you can say is very clean for us to be able to get in for me, how I trade. Um, Maybe you get in off the bearish engulfing candle like this. That's at 9 a.m. That's an option. Stop above the high. Two standard deviations of the entire move, which is this height of this low. And we would not have tapped it. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it on copper. Was this news? Oh, this is Wednesday's news. Okay, so this is what's that called? CPIs. So that was CPIs, yeah. So really and truly, there isn't too much else on copper for the week. So really only that first trade on Wednesday, on Wednesday that we were able to take. Aside from that, it was pretty dead. Pretty dead indeed. Even though we had this big runoff, there's no way we could have looked to take it. Um, Something else I see here is these in here. It's very clearly an area of support, area of buyers. Once that breaks, price comes back to retest it, and then we sell off. Maybe that could have been an entry there at 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Maybe. But not really too fond of that, to be honest. Really not too fond. So yeah, it's pretty dead week, to be honest, on copper. Other one I'm starting to get into is cotton. I don't really like cotton because it's after the week of doing it, a lot of it happens during London session. And I'm sleeping during London session. So I think I'm gonna go back to Nasdaq as my third pair. Um, Plus I've been trading Nasdaq for years. Doesn't really, I'm gonna say it doesn't work. It does work. It's just kind of ugly how it's trading right now. Like a lot of this, a lot of that. Not really trending. Over here it was trending better, but yeah, not now anymore. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much a recap from last week. Really only two trades, one on copper, one on gold. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. Looking forward to having a good week this week.